A couple of days ago, I posted a video about a man who'd embezzled millions of dollars using an adult website called mygirlfund.com. But if you search for this site, there's nothing to suggest it's overtly sexual or pornographic. In fact, the site itself says that all the women who are registered to it are the girl next door type. When I think of the type of woman who could be described as girl next door, the image I get is someone who's feminine and quite traditional. But I googled it and it's defined as a person who is perceived as familiar, approachable and dependable in the context of a romantic relationship. And then I put classic girl next door into the search engine and clicked on images. And one of the first that came up was Doris Day, who comes from a time when men were men, women were women, and no one identified as a non-binary pansexual fucking tree sprite. So I had a look at the website and it all seemed to be above board, a little racy, but nothing major. So I decided to use one of my multiple email addresses and I registered on the site to see how long it would take for things to get a bit more sordid. The site also states that each fund is as unique as each girl, but each of them is trying to raise money for an issue close to their hearts. Now, if you've seen this channel before, you may have seen one of the Meet Local Girls videos in which con artists pose as attractive young women to try and con people out of money. This isn't that. These are young women trying to get men to part with their cash. So let's have a look at some of them now that I was registered. So let's start with this young lady. When I posted on Monday, it said that she was trying to raise $90 to buy new glasses. But now that I'm registered on the site, it reads $5 to $10 if you're ready to shove your cock in my mouth. What a lovely young lady. If I was a young single man, I would love to take her home to meet my parents. Honestly, I bet at the end of every evening her face looks like a painter's radio. Starlove states 10 credits for a sloppy blowjob video. Now I really don't understand this, because again, if I were a young single man, why would I want to watch another bloke getting sucked off, thinking he looks like he's having a wonderful time, but I'm paying to watch it? Have we reached the point in society that there are men who've consumed so much pornography that if they see a woman that they find attractive, their first thought is, I'd love to watch her getting fucked? Jez Baby tries to entice customers by saying, play with the tip and tug on your balls. With the whole girl next door thing, I expect that's a line from an Audrey Hepburn film. But I'm English, and in this country, the tip is a slang term for a council-run recycling centre. And of course I know that's not what she means, but I don't know how I would play with the tip. If I asked nicely, they might let me have a ride on one of the diggers. And tug on your balls, well, a tug is one of those immensely powerful boats they use for moving ships around harbours. I wouldn't want one of them attached to my knackers. Tiff Black, name's a bit racial there, love, asks, who wants to see me rub my toes on a cock? Again, who are the guys who are paying to watch another bloke get off? And I can get my head around most things, but foot fetishes, no, just stop it, it's fucking wrong. Mermaid Double D says she wants to get pregnant. How many credits did that cost to get her tubbed? Now we can't see her face, but she's got those. So I don't think she'd have many problems in finding a bloke to fire his batter cannon up her. In saying that, there are some men who are not picky whatsoever when looking for a sexual partner. Now I keep mentioning the girl next door thing, but I live in Stoke. So the girl next door could be £250, wearing a faded grey tracksuit with the elastics about to give up, have 8 different kids by 8 different fathers, so her nether regions will look like a lasagna that's been stamped on, and still there'll be blokes who want to have a go on her. Jezzy Ray 2 says, finally fucked my best friend's husband. Not much of a friend then, is she? He's an adulterer and she's a bitch. Hex Girlfriend says, my body matches what my eyes can do. What the fuck does that mean? Can her whole body process light? Or is she talking about crying? Because someone needs to tell her if her whole body is crying, that's called sweating and she's too warm, she needs to turn the thermostat down. Although that would be a miracle, because never in the history of humanity has a woman ever turned down the central heating. This lass, whose name I can't pronounce, offers a 14-minute slutty housewife roleplay experience. What strikes me there, 14 minutes is very specific. Is she doing this on a quarter-hour break at work? 30 seconds to find somewhere quiet, 14 minutes acting like a slag, then run back to till 7 so Jenny can go for her break. Then we come to these two. $500 needed, any help from a nice guy, and want to fund my flight to China. There's no, do you want to see my tits, or even a video of me fucking another bloke. They're just straight up asking for money. And I think they'll get it. Because I think the mindset of some of the men on these type of sites is that if they give the lady some money, then they'll like him, and then they'll want to sleep with him, and then they'll fall in love with him, and then he can take her out to show all the friends he hasn't got his new girlfriend. However, if you're a man watching this video and that description applies to you, rest assured it is never going to happen. Generally speaking, women, and particularly attractive women, don't go for pathetic snivelling beta males who, despite being in their late 30s, still live with their parents and get nervous and piss themselves every time they make eye contact with a woman. Trust me, they will take your money and fuck off with a guy with tattoos and a motorcycle. And finally, we get to Harley, and she says, I want a Dior necklace. Well, here's a suggestion, love. Why don't you get a fucking job? Not a fucking job, you're close to that already. But why not try and earn a regular wage? Of course, anyone who wants to make a living working on this type of website, it's their choice and good luck to them. But it is a time-limited career. I mean, in Western society, if we look at the media, as soon as a woman shows any signs of aging, then she just disappears from the TV. And I suspect the same thing will happen here. But also, what about the future? What if one of these ladies decides to leave the industry and wants to settle down? She meets a guy, they go on a few dates, things are going great, she thinks he's the one, and then suddenly he breaks off the relationship. And she pleads to know why, and he sends her a link, because one of his mates has found a video of her on a website getting spit roasted by 2 Algerians. Or if she settles down and gets married, has a child, and a few years in the future her daughter comes home from school crying, and she says, whatever is wrong? And her daughter replies, Johnny found a picture of you on the internet with no clothes on, having a shit on a glass table. Because once something is on the internet, it is there forever. So now I'm going to delete my account with mygirlfund.com and go back to waiting for Russian hackers to tell me they're a 29-year-old blonde woman from Los Angeles. As ever, thanks for watching.